Welcome back to Nostalgic Overload Podcast, a podcast dedicated to everything from 90s to 2000s to anything that we really feel like talking about, from movies, toys, anything pop culture related, whatever we honestly feel like talking about. You might hear about current things, old school things, but I am your host, Weston, and this is my co-host, or host of the most, Andrew. So before we get into this podcast, we always like to shout out local places. And right now, as we record this, Evansville Toys and Games is pushing forward on the new location. So be sure, if you're in the Evansville area or if you're on Facebook, check out Evansville Toys and Games. They're an awesome store. Their new setup I haven't been to personally, but seeing pictures, it looks awesome.
Insane.
Like way more room, like just more room to grow. So definitely an awesome place that we love to support. They're all awesome people, and anytime you go, you will feel like you're honestly like family there. Like
family.
They're just super awesome people. So support Evansville Toys and Games and
High Score Saloon, High Score Player 2. We're always expanding. Trying to do new things.
And we will
Just
eventually get our
arcades.
podcast episode over there again. We haven't in quite a while, haven't we? Like it's been a minute.
There's been a lot of changes since then too.
Oh, for sure. And that's what's awesome about going there, is there's always things that are like changing and evolving. It's never the same. I love places that just continue to change and grow. Because you get tired of, looking at the same old thing every time. So
turn the page, flip it up.
If you have a local place you would like to shout out, you can comment it below or shout it out however you want to, because supporting locals is extremely important to us because we know how hard it is right now, and anything you can do to support your local areas helps out a ton. So
support your community.
So let's go ahead and get into the first thing. So the first thing is gonna be kind of a heavy one because this one kind of hits home for me, and we usually have a rest in peace, and this one's probably the hardest one I've had to do as an adult being a parent, and that's we finally had to say goodbye to our big boy Lex. Man, someone said it probably the best, that he was a giant dog, but he was super gentle. So he was like a gentle giant man. Like, he was a Great Dane lab, and we kind of have him memorial over here for him. It's got like his collar, his cremated ashes, and a picture that is by my bed every night. And I'll tell you what, it's been tough, and we literally raised him when he was 12 weeks old. Taught him how to go to the bathroom, how to walk. He was like our first kid because we didn't have any kids. My wife originally gave me a choice when we were going to have either a cat, dog, or a baby. So I decided dog because I don't want a cat personally for myself. PetSmart has an event every year that's like a adoptive pet type thing where there's different places that come out there so you can adopt an animal, and we just happened to find Flex, and there was two of them, and I remember his like brother was like very like not very like quiet. He was like very like active and moving. But Flex was like the chill guy, like the chill boy, and that's what he's always been ever since he was a puppy. He was real chill, but he could be hyper too. But he was a great dog. I know people hear this a lot and say it a lot, but he was really like the best dog ever. And I mean, I couldn't ask for a better dog. Like, Flex wasn't just like a dog, it was like having a kid. Like, and that's why it was even harder, I think. And it's hard now even to even talk about, honestly. This was probably the first time I ever talked about it, and I don't get choked up about it, honestly, because it's hard, man. Like, and I know people say like, oh, they're, you know, like they're just dogs, but to me it was like a kid. Like, it was,
you had to learn.
Super heavy to have to go through, and to see him go through the end where it was like losing all the weight. He was like 100 pounds and he was down to like 65, I think, at the end. But it was hard, man. Like, it just broke my heart to watch him go down. But I really got to enjoy some great times, like up here, like where he's a puppy, and then where we play like tug of war. And then my kids literally grew up with him. Like, they were there as babies when they come home, and he was there, and we didn't know how he would interact with them. Interacted like perfectly, mesh with them. Anytime they would like cry, he would always be there and
comforting,
tell us, you know, he would kind of come over to us. Like, he was like their brother, I guess, in a way, you know. Like, he was just super cool. And the one on the right where he's like drooling because he hated like car rides. he would get so anxious and nervous. And then there's some other ones. I don't know if I have these all up here for everyone, but the one with Eli, walking him, and he always had his paws crossed too. So I was like, his like posture, he was very like properish. Yeah. When he would like have his little.
He was very distinguished.
Very distinguished. He was very, very elegant for his for a dog. Yeah. And he hated to be dirty. He always had to like clean himself. So that's why the end was hard too, because he had a lot of accidents. But man, just looking at pictures, really just like, it's good times, you know. So that's what I try to remind myself, because I do still look around for him. Like, I think he's there, or I think I hear him, or you know, it's hard, man. It's probably it is the hardest thing as a parent that I've had to do right now. And I know there'll be other things, but for right now, this is right there. Because he was, man, just such a great dog. Like, just like his little like eyebrow raises like in the middle, or where he would like look at you, and it was like he was like the Rock, and he would give you the people's eyebrow, and he'd look over at you. And these two on the left and right, where when we would take them on walks, there's like a hill, you know, kind of like on the Greenway. There's like part of it toward like on the north side, and there's like kind of a hill, and he insisted on going up there, even though I had to walk through like 4 foot high grass to get up there. But he would run down and back. And that's one thing about Flex, is he always loved to be active.
High energy. He
loved to go out. And then this one's on the west side too, on the left and right, actually. Just like how like the sun hits, it just has that like almost like that picture of that actor who passed away, you know, like it's like that picturesque like type of thing. And I think there's, and then this is kind of like showing like when she was pregnant, and he was like right there with Eli. This is actually that picture. I didn't bring it down here, but Andrew 3D printed something where you look at it and it looks like a whole bunch of like mesh on top of plastic.
It just looks like an etching.
But then you hold it up to the light, and it has like a picture of us, and it's not on here, I don't think, but it's like the one on the right, where it's like us when we were pregnant with our first one.
It was this one.
And it's top just like a one. Great, and it really meant a lot. And then the one on the bottom left is a picture that we recreated as we're like older, and then we had like Flex in there. So it's like a picture of, it was only us, and it's him with us. And then the one on the right is when he ate a whole bowl of guacamole. He got up on the bench, but he was like terrified to jump on a chair, but he was determined. He ate the whole bowl, like literally scarfed it up in like
2 bites,
2 seconds probably. Like super super quick, man. Like he would eat, dude. He's eating like ornaments, guacamole. When he was a puppy, he like shredded a bunch of stuff, and then this is just like puppy-ish type stuff. It's not like he was like
malicious.
No, he would like he would just do things where you're like, why would you eat that?
Exploratory, man.
But the one on the right is actually one of the pictures our friend actually took, and the one on the left is actually right over here. Our friend was nice enough that when she saw that it was kind of coming in, she decided to have a family picture moment of like all of us with them, which was really meant a lot because it was like really just cool to like have like black and white pictures of him. And there he is having that arms crossed and that eye raised thing. He always had that on his look. And I think he's got like a little bit of drool in the one on the right. But and then how he would like lay is on the left, man. He was literally a gentle giant. Like he looked like he would attack somebody. Yeah. And actually, we were looking at dogs the other day, just trying to get through the next part of, having an animal. And we actually saw a Great Dane yesterday. It was like a full bred. It was like 150 pounds or something. His paws were almost as big as my hand. And when he flexed, I'm like, he was like part Great Dane, but this was like a full Great Dane. Like he was only, this dog could like, his dog's head would be like up here.
Great Danes are for people that aren't sure if they want horses yet. You know what I mean? They're massive.
And I never really picked the breed. It, like I've talked about to other people, is sometimes things just have to happen organically. You can't like make them happen. Like just let life happen. Like I mean, don't like live like just do whatever. But
don't
like
fly off
I think things that happen or organically are like the best. Like me and Andrew's friendship is something that just happened organically. We didn't like try to find each other on Facebook or something, just when things happen, they just like, it's the best and they just happen just how they happen. Like just let life happen. Like life will come your way, and like Flex did, he just came our way. We had no idea that it would be what it is, and I am extremely grateful for all the memories with them. And the way I describe it is why it's so hard, because there's like layers to your heart, right? And I think Flex touched the closest to my heart. Like my kids and my wife, like they're all in like the same realm of like how hard it would be in here. Yeah. And that's why I think it's the hardest, because it's just like he was like the closest, and it was like the purest love. Like he would just love you no matter what. He would, I mean, he would bark sometimes, but not very often. But he just loved, man. He just loved to love. And it's my goal in life to live my life for Lex, because he's not here no more, but he's always
in your heart and mind.
He's always in the heart and mind, definitely in the mind a lot.
That's part of the grieving process. I had a conversation with a lady last night at the kids arcade who lost her 17-year-old son some years ago, but she was like, you understand grief? And I was like, yeah. People deal with grief in different ways. But I look at grief as an understanding that there's just all the unexpressed love you never got to get. You don't get to give that person that's gone. Yeah. Grief hits people a lot harder whenever you actually truly love and care about something. You know what I mean? It'll stick with you forever. But in a way, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people are like, yeah, bury it, man up.
I think
it's being a baby, but it's like, dude, I love something that much that I want to, even if it hurts me, I want to keep it alive.
I think it's good to give yourself time to process. Yeah. That's what I did, is I gave myself time to process because I needed it. And I think you need to feel what you feel, and you need to like not try to hide it and like shelter it. You need to kind of, however you want to deal with it. It's good to like process it. So with Flex, rest in peace, you big baby up there, because you're always scared of gates and love to love and loved car rides. Not really, but he loved walks. But until I see you on the other side, big man, rest in peace, man.
Giant soul.
So the next one up is, what are you listening to? And this kind of falls into Flex, so this is gonna be like a heavy episode for a little bit, but we'll get to the light stuff here in a little while. But this is Kid Cudi, the Free album. And Free album, you know that song that you like on that one where it's like that artist you said, like if you pictured like walking into heaven and like seeing the people you miss. This first song, the echoes on the present, or sorry, echoes of the present, is kind of like that. Like I just kept replaying that like over and over, like starting it, playing it, starting it. Like I probably have like 500 plays on just that song. But this album is like a really good thinking album, and it's not like your normal like Kid Cudi where you think of like hype music and like club, you know. It's just kind of like chill, like you're in like almost like this picture is like the clouds, like it's like you're in clouds. And it just has this, I mean, I can't name just one song because they're all really good. The Ashes is good, Grave, Past Life, Picnics in Paris, Stargazing, like every song on here is really good. But it's definitely a good album if you want to hear something kind of like chill and hang out, you know, like you and I always say, like chill vibes. Like it's one of those
background chill music.
Oh yeah. That's for it now. It's like going with me everywhere. So it's like not even like, but it's
chill wherever you
it's
go.
kind of like in the middle of the process with Flex. It's kind of like going hand in hand. But that's my album. So on to the next thing. So the next one's gonna be a good one. Now we're gonna get into the fun stuff. Who remembers playing God of War #1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, the original OG on PlayStation 2? So I remember playing the demo disc for this game, which I have still, and I actually still have my God of War copy. It's over there by Andrew, and I played it so much that the disc will like skip at a certain spot, because this is the only one that I played on the hardest mode, on God mode. And
from the beginning,
it was like you get hit once and you lose half your life. And this isn't when you have a bunch of weapons like you do now, like in the Pandora's box on the guy's back, or is it Pandora's like labyrinth or whatever? It's like the maze on the guy's back where you have to like the Titan, right? Yeah.
You gotta like run up in.
But I like played the demo so much on this that I had that I really wanted the game, because it was like prior to it coming out. It was like that scene where you open up and you're on the boat, you gotta tackle the guys. This is when you like side scrolled, you didn't do like a free you know, all the way around. But such a fun game. I mean, like I think this game took like 10 years to make this game. I mean, it's such a fun, like great, and anytime there's a new one, I still play them because of this game. Like this is definitely like, if you have a PlayStation 2 collection or you like to play old school games on PlayStation 2, this is a for sure play for me. And do you remember in this game the one thing that when we were kids we got to do? You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, got to have sex.
This was the one with the sex scene in it, where you got to do the little, like, was it the knobs?
You had to help him get there, dude. You had to
but they don't show it. It's like
B,
off.
mash B, yeah.
Oh, it's like not. It's not like GTA where they show you like the car bouncing,
the car rocking back and forth. Yeah,
not showing anything.
It wasn't that. It was just a lot of off-screen moaning and it showing a button that you had to press. But we knew what he was doing.
And see, like the new ones don't really have that like as much. It doesn't. It's kind of more geared toward like family oriented. But this was the one that just had everyone that thinks this game always remembers that scene at the beginning. But we're gonna go ahead and show you the game trailer for when this game came out.
And we were playing it underage. Yeah.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. Now there is no hope.
Once a captain, Kratos had begun his command with only 50 soldiers, but soon his numbers grew to the thousands. His wife was the only one to brave his fury.
How much is enough, Kratos? When will it end?
When the glory of Sparta is known throughout the world. Burn this village! Burn it to the ground!
But that which he desired would ultimately consume him.
Ares! God of war! Destroy my enemies! And my life is yours!
that desperate call for aid would come to haunt Kratos for all his days.
Do you feel the rage that drives your blade? That is my doing. All your strength comes from me! By the gods, what have I become?
The journey forward is perilous.
The Oracle spoke of Pandora's box.
The box is hidden well, far across the desert of lost souls.
And with such a weapon, I could defeat Ares.
With the box, many things become possible.
I will find Pandora's box. And I will use it to see him fall before me. Tell the god of war I am his no longer. Your final lesson is at hand.
2005, isn't that crazy? So we graduated in 08. So we're playing that in like high school. What a great, like, just fun game. I remember, like I said, like playing it so much that I got a scratch in it because it was like those black backs, right?
Yeah.
Or right, it was the black ones, wasn't it? And it just kept playing.
PlayStation 2, PlayStations were the black discs.
Okay, so PlayStation 2 was like the
regular disc.
So the disc wasn't as bad, but I still scratched it because I played it, and I remember it was like the Hades spot, and it would get stuck and it would go like it would like get like stuck because I played it so much over and over.
Make it through it.
Because the hardest mode was fun, and then I think this is the one where you could get the like cow skin or something, right? It was like one of the extra ones. Like it just had all these like crazy like fun things, but it's crazy that the game was originally titled Dark Odyssey, which would be still a pretty cool title.
Yeah,
God of War just
like
sounds cooler because like watching that trailer, it made me remember when he had like the regular skin, and then it was like he got the power, so then the like ashes made his skin white, and then he was like fighting for Ares, which we won't talk about what happens on the other ones because that kind of like falls into the other ones, but it's definitely, man, it was when the game was like more like simpler and you didn't have to like do so much.
Yeah.
But isn't it crazy? Have you ever like thought a game was like super awesome graphics, and then you watch the trailer
and you're like, whoa,
you're like, wow, that isn't very good even in the trailer. Usually the trailer's the one that looks good, but back then we thought, man, this game is
look,
good graphics.
Game graphics back then, growing up in the 90s, I always played Siphon Filter on PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
That game, you could literally taser people to death. Like you could hit them across the map with a taser, and if you held it long enough, they'd just burst into flame. I went back in like 2019-ish and played it on PlayStation, and I'm like, this is off. Like graphically, it is awful.
That's usually how.
But as
PlayStation 1 games are.
kids, that was the top-notch thing, yeah. Because we didn't have the kind of technology we have now.
That's what it says. The game was heavily inspired by the 1981 film Clash of the Titans and Capcom's
Onimusha.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna mess that up. But definitely cool. The game, I loved like the Greek aspect where it was like Greek mythology
I
with
love
like
Greek mythology.
And then like now it's starting to kind of like go through eras right now, but
different.
This is where it all began.
It's different gods now.
And this other one's cool. Hidden phone numbers. By destroying 2 statues in the throne room at the end of the game, a scrambled code appeared that, when deciphered, reveals a 1-800 number. Calling it resulted in a recording message from the game director David Jaffe, or a congratulatory message from Kratos. A second number was also hidden for beating the game on God mode, which I did do, so I don't remember that other one. But
at the time you were probably like, what is this?
Yeah, what's this number? I don't have a cell phone.
Yeah. I'm not going to a payphone to call this guy.
I wonder if the number still works though. And also this game, the other thing I like about it is the voice actor who plays Kratos. He just has such a cool voice. Like, it's one of those voices where you're like, this guy's voice is really dope. Like, it is also the only game in the entire God of War series that does not feature a mechanic for reflecting projectiles. So the other ones have like the shield now and like the spear, and
You can parry and
So
stuff.
this is also the actor. So T.C. Carson, known for his role as Kyle Barker on the sitcom Living Single, provides the voice for Kratos. So there's your voice actor,
Yeah.
T.C. Carson, and he looks like Kratos when you see him. You're like, that, yeah. He looks like he could.
I get it. Yeah.
He could act him. Well, what you're actually supposed to have is a live action, remember? Show, which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how that would go, but
we'll see when it comes.
It'd be
out.
cool.
There's been some. I don't want to say. I mean, we got Gears of War 2 that's about to make a live action show, which I played a couple of them, but I wasn't like.
I like
diehard
Gears of
fan.
War Online.
Yeah.
Because that's where I played on Xbox, which now it's on PlayStation also.
Yeah.
But on Xbox, it was like that like chainsaw gun thing. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, and you were just rampaging through people.
In early renders, Kratos wore more armor, but this was removed because the PlayStation 2 lacked the processing power to make it look realistic enough during gameplay. So, but everything was just so like basic and simple. But that's what was fun about it. You didn't have like, you had like very little stuff, and this is back to the.
Yeah. No, yeah, but like you said, it took a lot for the like. Even though it was a PlayStation 2 and it was a really good console, the power wasn't there to do those graphics and stuff. And I mean,
we were still on memory cards.
Yeah,
like we weren't even able to save on the PlayStation.
We didn't have it as good as we have it now.
I mean, it had internet back then, but nobody really used the PlayStation 2. At least I didn't. I don't know anyone that it wasn't like the same as it is now.
It wasn't until like PlayStation 3 that the internet was way more adaptable. Like, you know what I mean? You could get on the online store and stuff like that. You could. Was
there even an online store back then?
Yeah.
There was on the
for PlayStation
PS2?
3.
I
don't know about. There might have been one for 2, but
I don't remember.
we
there was one on the.
We probably still had dial-up anyway.
There was one on the Sega. There was like an online thing or like a store type thing, or maybe like a chat thing or something. I don't remember. I've heard about something like that. But this game was definitely one up there. It's definitely fun. If you get a chance to play it, it's worth playing it for sure. It's fun. It might not age as well, just because it's a little older. So you got to give a little bit of grace. The graphics aren't going to be the newest God of War. The newest God of War is awesome.
Mind blowing.
And there's way too much to do, by the way, to get the platinum trophy.
Yeah. There's a lot.
You have to find all those stupid birds.
Oh, dude, I was on it. When I play those games, though, I immerse myself in those games. So, like, I would be wearing my headphones while I played. Like, most time, people only wear headphones for, like, online play, Call of Duty, trash, stuff like that, Fortnite, whatever.
Yeah, I like Fortnite.
I have to listen to kids play it all day. I'm over here in 6-7, whatever.
Isn't it funny? Like back in the day, it wasn't 6-7. It was Suck It.
Suck It.
Ever seen that picture? That picture where they're like, back in the day, it was Suck It.
Yeah.
Now it's 6-7.
Yeah.
Telling your teacher to suck it wasn't really a good idea either.
Not really. Sounded better than 6-7 though.
Could you imagine kids walking around now saying "suck it"?
Yeah. I'd be like, you little whippersnapper, you. We did that back in my day. You really show your age. But I immersed myself in games. Like, I'd wear headphones so I'd hear those ravens that you're talking about flying around. Well, I'd be like, where's that little asshole at?
Find 25.
Yeah.
Find 25. Find 50.
Yeah.
Find 50. Find 75. It's like, when does this end? When do I have to start finding these birds?
Yeah.
That's the one I always think of, because every time I'm like, more birds?
Yeah.
I'm not looking around that much.
I'd hear them, though. I'd be playing and hear them, and I'd be like, where you at? I'm looking
at a little bird.
Yeah. I'm going to get you, you damn bird.
All right, so the next one up is going to be, who remembers this show from back in the day? And this show is like a staple in my household.
Yeah.
Was Home Improvement. And I am not going to lie, my kids are tired of watching it now, because I still have found it on Prime where you can watch like live. And I turn it on at night. I don't know what it is about it that just relaxes me. But it is like, I think it's because it reminds me of my like childhood and like my dad watching it. And it's like a like man's family show, you know, like it could be a girl show too, I don't know, but in my household it was like my dad and my mom and all of us would be watching it. It was just like, even when you hear this, like we're gonna play the intro and you're gonna even hear the intro and it's gonna bring back, because this is like one of the intros, obviously there's one for every season, where like as the kids are older,
as the family grows. But this intro is next level.
Very nice.
Yes, very nice.
that right there, you remember that?
It's the best sound. Yeah.
Or what was the other one? Like it was like do like that. Like I think he would do that. But isn't it crazy? Like think about Tim Allen, right? At this time, he just recently, before this, I don't know if it was recently or a little bit of time, but remember he was arrested for like trafficking drugs. And you see that picture, that like mugshot.
Mm-hmm.
To go to this, and to be on this sitcom where it's like they didn't really know how this would go, because Home Improvement is an American sitcom television series starring Tim Allen, originally airing on ABC September 17th, 1991 to May 25th, 1999, with a total of 204 half-hour episodes spanning 8 seasons. The series is set in a suburb Detroit. It was created by Carmen Fenestra and David McFadden and Matt Williams, and was one of the most watched sitcoms in the United States during the 1990s, winning many awards and being ABC's #1 sitcom for the most of its run. The series also launched stand-up comedian actor Allen's acting career and grossed more than $500 million in syndication revenue by 1996.
It's crazy.
And for back then, 500 million is like a lot. And I do have like a lot of stuff for this one, because I really love like Home Improvement. I don't know, it's like something about like the man of like trying to soup everything up, and like the car thing.
Always fixing something.
Always fixing something. Like one of them, he like fixed like the leaf blower or something, but he put like an extreme motor on it so it could like blast your window out of your house. And I'm like, like that's like a guy's thing to do, is like, how much can I get out of this? Like I'm gonna try to soup this up. But it's just cool, and like to see. So if you ever watch Last Man Standing, that's like him in a different show with like, instead of a bunch of boys, it's a bunch of girls. But they had some of the actors from this one come on, and they even had a parallel to Wilson, or that was his name, right? On the fence. But the guy over the fence, so he's passed away, so they had like someone to like kind of like act that, and I was like, oh man, that's a good little like nod.
Yeah. Like nod to him.
The one kid who played the blonde-haired one, he's like in trouble with a bunch of stuff right now, with like a bunch of like charges and stuff. Like he's not doing too hot, but the other ones are actually doing pretty good, and it's cool to see like those people like go on to do other stuff. You know. Well,
and Tim Allen was huge.
I mean, you got Santa Claus, Home Improvement.
Yeah.
I mean,
the voice of Buzz Lightyear.
Yes.
What was that?
Was it Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy that he was on?
No.
Or there was something else.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. So he was on like Disney stuff. He was on a bunch of like Disney.
He was also in that one movie where he has like a son that's in the jungle.
Oh,
or whatever.
Into the Jungle? Is it that what it's called?
I think it's Into the Jungle.
Into the Jungle. But he was on like a lot of like Disney type stuff, which is kind of funny. You think about it.
Things.
Charged for drug trafficking. Now he's saying kid stuff. But Robert Downey Jr. is the same way.
Yeah.
See, like, someone can, like, literally turn their
life
around, and you won't even look back. And what's weird about Tim Allen, he, like, doesn't age. He's like that guy that looks like almost he's still got the same look, and you're like, he just doesn't, like, he's like, I don't know what he figured out, what he's got on, what he's using, but it's working.
Yeah, what is it, Tim?
But Tim Allen turned down starring on TV's version of Turner and Hooch, Dead Poets Society, to get his own sitcom. Allen told Los Angeles Times that it seemed like Disney executives who pitched him the potential shows were already preparing for failure when he passed Disney's search for a producer to develop a sitcom based on Allen's stand-up character instead, which became Home Improvement. Matt Williams, the creator of Roseanne, was eventually hired for the job. So everything just kind of lined up, like I said earlier, like happened organically. And just like which Turner and Hooch had Tom Hanks, so it still was. Yeah, it's still an awesome movie. But let's see. The original idea for the show came from Allen and was titled Hammer Time, which would be a funny name. I think Home Improvement's better. Francis Fisher, who is better known for her dramatic role on the stage and in films like The Unforgiven and Titanic, was originally cast for Tim's wife, Jill. She shot the pilot episode but didn't test well with audience, so she was replaced by Patricia Richardson, and the pilot was reshot for ABC. So that was another thing about Home Improvement, is it was like tool time part of it was like his job, right? He was like worked on a show, so he worked on a show recording a show, right? But when you would see like the audience, that was always like the best part, is he would go her, 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 and then they'd all do the little chant, and or like they would. I loved like Tim's personality with like Al, because Al was like the guy that knew what he was doing, and Tim was like the guy that didn't know what he was doing but tried to know what he was doing. And Al would always be like, oh well, here we go. And it always ended up Al would get hurt, and then also Tim would always make jokes about Al's mom being so heavy. He's like, but I don't think you ever saw Al's mom either on the show.
I don't think so.
And then the girl was originally, what was it, Pamela Anderson, who played the like helper on the show, and then it was somebody else. But just one of those like just fun shows. Like, just there was one episode where they like switched the audience with like a cooking show went to their set, and then the guys went to the cooking show. So it's like a bunch of girls, and they're trying to make a bunch of jokes, but they're not like sticking, because it's obviously a bunch of girls watching I'm supposed to be watching a cooking show. Why am I in here? And then what was funny, there was this one girl on there. I remember, I just obviously watched this one recently, but she was like, could like fix stuff, and then he would try to like complicate it, and she's like, no, just do this. And I'm like, hey, girls can do it too. Yeah, girls can fix stuff.
Girls get it done.
We're all equal here. Yeah. The actor got ticketed for rolling through a stop sign after a Macbeth rehearsal in Los Angeles. He was sent to traffic school as a result, where he met an agent who told him about Home Improvement. Karn discovered he knew enough people involved with the show to secure an audition who would eventually be Al. So Al got pulled over, and then things just happened. Like he didn't think about getting pulled over would be such a life-changing thing, and then he became Al, who always wore flannel shirts and had a hard time with girls. Yeah. Along with the perk of possibly appearing on an episode, people wanted to go to Home Improvement tapings because Allen was known to use some off-color language and improvise. Yeah. And that was one thing about him on,
which is cool.
Last Man Standing, is he got his show moved, because like, no, and like, I don't talk about political stuff here, but it was like political and like religious stuff. So he always has like stood the ground on like what he believes. Right. And he puts on his shows, and he wants to have fun, but it's just like old school, there's not all this other stuff to try to like block that out. Oh yeah. So Wilson's character was always one of my favorites, because he always gave Tim advice, and then Tim would go inside and mess it all up how he said it. Yeah. He would never say it. Wilson was like the smartest guy
Yeah.
Like he was like that neighbor that you need for like advice.
And that's all you saw of him was
the bottom. Well, on the last episode,
you see his full face.
you saw his full face finally, and I was like, can you imagine you waited this whole time?
Yeah.
And at the very end, they're like, okay, here's his face.
You're like, I knew it.
He's a handsome guy.
I knew what he looked like the whole time.
But Wilson's full name was Wilson W. Wilson.
Yeah.
He was played by Earl Heidemann, who died of lung cancer in 2003 at the age of 61. In the series finale curtain call, his full face was revealed.
Yeah.
So I actually watched that and like saw it, and I was like, huh, he's an alright looking guy. Like you always wonder, you're like, what does he look like? Do they have like busted teeth or something? Or like, what's the reason we can't see his face? And that was always like the joke of him not being able to like show his face. And he, like, there was always a way, like a cup holding, he'd be somewhere, or like there was always a way to block
something covering his face.
It just added. And the cool thing about Home Improvement is it actually had a video game on the Super Nintendo, which I don't know if I've ever played it, but you walk across the screen and you like throw like hammers, and it like has a cool little like music to it. But in 1994, Super Nintendo released Home Improvement Power Tool Pursuit. The premise was when a line of power tools that the Benford Tool Company named after Tim Taylor went missing. Tim traveled from soundstage to soundstage, fighting actors dressed as dinosaurs and other creatures to get the tools back, using only the tools he currently has on him, such as the Always Covenant grappling hook. He'll fight dinosaurs on a tool time game. What a funny what a funny little thing. This is one that I didn't know. So Jonathan Taylor Thomas left the show during the final season. Thomas left the show to focus on school. When he came back to guest star in the final season's holiday episode, Alan told Thomas he was confused about his reasons for leaving the show. After walking away from the role of Randy Taylor to focus on his education, Thomas had agreed to appear in some scenes. Though Thomas did not appear in the series finale in 2013, he guest starred on Tim Allen's new show, Last Man Standing, which is when I saw him on that show, Last Man Standing, and I was like, whoa. Yeah. I feel old. Like, this guy's like to think about how long this has been. Yeah. And then you see him, and he was one of people too that didn't age. You just like see him, and you're like, wow, man, he's looks like the same kid from back in the day. And Allen and Richardson turned down a lot of money to make a 9th season, so they stopped at 8, and they wanted to push for a 9. Richardson was offered $25 million to do a 9th season. Allen offered double that. The two declined. Home Improvement ended after 8 seasons and 203 episodes. So everything could have kept going, but there's like a point I think on a show where you're like, okay, we're done with this. Yeah, I think don't most of them. It's usually like 10 years, like they usually, or maybe So you don't want to milk that way too dry. Yeah, but
you can only kick a dead horse.
If you like Home Improvement, Last Man Standing is a good alternative because it's a funny show too. It's got its little quirks in it as well, and it's like a newer era where I was like, I think I like watch Home Improvement because it reminds me of the 90s, because you just watch the show, the way they're dressed and like the talk and demeanors, and you're like there's one where he was wearing like those big workout pants with a small waist and like purple and like all kind of crazy colors, and I was like, that is totally like 90s. Like when you watch this, like that's probably why my kids don't like, my son like watching it mostly. He's like, this show looks so old, and I'm like, that's what makes it better, is that it looks retro. I was like, that shirt right there that he's wearing, that Michael Jordan shirt, overprint, is probably like $300 now. Oh yeah. But back then everybody was just wearing that stuff.
Still wear cool stuff.
But it definitely a cool one. Who remembers going to your friend's house or having at your house bunk beds? How cool bunk beds were back in the day. Because I know as a kid, I always wanted a bunk bed, and I was lucky enough to have my own. It wasn't set up like this dope one. This is like the one you see in the catalog, where you're like, I got a place for my computer that is like way too big for this desk probably. Yeah. And I got like a bed sideways and like drawers. Mine was just the top and bottom. So here's a question. Did you sleep on top or did you sleep on bottom?
I mainly slept on bottom.
Do you know what's like about sleeping on top? That's where I slept. hitting your head on the ceiling
Mine
because it was so close to the ceiling.
The reason I didn't like sleeping on top is because of leg cramps. Because if I got a leg cramp, I had to like throw my little fat ass off the bed to touch the ground to stop my leg from cramping up.
You know what's awesome out on top? Because of how my room was set up, the air vent was right at my feet.
Oh yeah, so it was like
yeah. So you know, like having fans now, like that was like you weren't like high on the bottom. I was so afraid of smacking my head on top of that thing,
sitting up fast or something. Yeah.
I guess I would rather hit my head on like drywall than hit my head on wood. Yeah. But that was like the best part, and then like being afraid of like falling off too on top was kind of a little bit sketchy. Because I had like the one where the back, it was like all wood, and I had like the ladder going up kind of like that, but that one was like just like leaning up on the thing. But it had like shelves back here so you could put all your stuff. But the bad thing was the bed was literally just a box spring with a tiny pad, because you couldn't have two usually, which now you got memory foam, which would be even better. Awesome. But everybody wanted a bunk bed because you can go to your friend's house and sleep over. And you got to sleep on the floor on a whatever you slept on, blankets or
socks.
Which we had I had a do you remember those like fold out chairs where you would fold them out like a bed? It was like a little
futon.
No, it wasn't like that. That's like an actual like couch kind of, and then it folds out. But this was like, it was like a chair like this, but it had like a back, but it could like fold out, and that's what people would usually sleep on. But then you got the bunk bed, and that's like the upgrade. The downside was you get a little heavier, and that spring starts sticking you in the back from the box spring.
Yeah, mine was metal. I mean, I had one when we were kids that was wood.
The metal ones were cool,
but the metal ones, the metal ones were fun. I mean, at one point I didn't even have a ladder for it. You know what I mean?
Would you monkey climb it?
Yeah. But I was also that was like throughout.
So what was so big?
High school, I had a bunk bed
in the 90s about. I mean, it's like the wood era, but what was the big push for like bunk beds? It just became like a thing that we.
I feel like it. Because I feel like there were always. We always had people. We're such an antisocial.
Do you think it's because there was more now, like sleepovers back then?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I went to my friend's house and they went to mine all the time. Yeah, that was like so.
But that's what I mean.
Normal.
Now, yeah. I mean, granted, some people still do it. Like cousins always having a cousin or a friend over and stuff like that. Some people do it, but a lot of people are like super antisocial now.
Because it was like a thing to go to your friend's house to stay the night. Like that was like what you're talking about, the metal one, which was like black, right? Probably. My friend had.
Mine was red.
I had a bunk bed, and he had that bunk bed, so we both had a bunk bed. So we're always.
Yeah.
So it was just like a way to
spread out,
hang out with your friends, like to stay up late and to be talking too loud, and have your dad like mine to tell you after the third time you're like afraid of your life. Like ending, because you're gonna get in big trouble if you don't be quiet.
Yeah. No, I had one. Me and Josh had separate rooms when we moved to Cynthiana, and I still had a bunk bed. We also had a spare bedroom downstairs, in the basement. Like it was but my room still had the bunk bed.
We should have them as adults.
I had
bunk beds.
Nothing's stopping us.
Sleepovers at your friend's house. I bet there's someone out there who's like married who has a bunk bed.
Comment if it's you. No judgment here.
But bunk beds were definitely cool, and like this talks about in the 90s, bunk beds peaked as an ultimate childhood status symbol, often featured in popular TV shows like Full House, Boy Meets World as the go-to spot for siblings and sleepovers. As you talked, these beds ranged from solid wood to sleek steel, were heavily marketed for space-saving efficiency, though safety regulations began tightening due to entrapment risk, which is funny because like back then we didn't even like a person on the bottom could get squished because if the thing broke on because on the one that I had, it didn't had like the box spring built into like the mattress, but then there was like little edges for the wood thing. So like the center, I mean, it could fall. Yours was like the metal
bars,
which I mean, those could, if you're not the right size or you use it or you're jumping on it, it could possibly go through. Safety crisis began January 1990 and August 1999. The CPSC reported 91 bunk bed related deaths among children under 15, leading to stricter safety regulations.
91.
While wood was traditionally the 90s, saw a risk in the sleek modern metal and versatile designs that could transform into single beds. So they kind of like had their phase. I think they're still around though, but there's probably more like safety things. We were kind of living in the era of like
we were wild.
Yeah, like the wild era. Space saving solution. They remained popular for maximizing shared bedrooms or creating fun, private, elevated spaces for kids. The bunk bed origin, the term bunk, comes from the 19th century slang related to empty, long-winded political speech, bunkum. I said bunkum. Before being adopted for ship-style beds. And that was the other one too, was there wasn't just bunk beds, it was like captain's bed. Remember those were like, that's actually the first bed that I fell off as a kid, was a captain's bed.
Really?
Because it was like the drawers were all underneath it and you could like go. But bunk beds were definitely cool, and captain's beds were pretty awesome as well.
I had the one I had when we were in Cynthiana was a wooden one. Had the ladder in the back. There was no storage or anything like that. But I also had that rug with the town on it. So I drive my little cars around it.
That's one that I'm gonna have to put that on the topics, because I actually have mine still. It's it's upstairs in there. I thought about putting it down here, but it looked kind of funny. Yeah. But it's definitely a rug that we all like live through.
Yeah, I'd carpet my whole house in that.
So the next one up is one that we're gonna kind of do some of these. This is gonna be the first one. The top 10 90s sitcom theme songs, because who remembers like those songs that just like resonate? And the one we just talked about didn't make this list, sadly, but the first one up is Step by Step, which aired 1991 to 1998. So we're gonna go ahead and watch it. I don't remember this one. Do you? Hear like the intro, you kind of can feel like the air by the music. Like the sound is like, he's totally not
pay the cost. You wonder, will there ever be a second time around? Oh, when the tears are over and the moment has come, say, my Lord, I think I found someone. Don't know it will be better, 'cause you're putting it together for the second time. We got the woman and man. We got the kids in the clay. Only time will tell. All these dreams fit under one umbrella. Step by step, day by day, a fresh start over, a different hand to play. Deeper we fall, the stronger we stay. It will be better the second time around. Step by step, day by day, fresh start over, a different hand to play. Only time will tell, but you know what they say. We'll make it better.
So I don't remember Step by Step, but the next one up I do remember, which is number 9, and this is also, by the way, a list that like AI made.
Yeah.
But I can agree with mostly. Some of them I don't know, but number 9 is Married with Children,
And that ran
1987 to 1997. Now this is like the show that wouldn't make it nowadays. Like
No.
because the show was so off the wall. When you hear this intro, it just takes you back. That little like frostbite thing with the hands in the pants.
Love and marriage go together
When you
like
hear
a
this intro,
horse
what do you
and
think of
carriage. This I
the
tell
show?
you, brother,
Like that Dad's Dad.
you
know,
can't
like
have
the show that was like
without
raw
the
in a way, you know,
love
unfiltered.
and marriage, love and marriage. It's an institute you can't disparage. Ask the local gentry, and they will say it's elementary. Try to separate
Looking
them. It's
press.
an illusion. Try, and you will only come
Because we always put your money back in.
to this conclusion, love and marriage.
Oh man, it's such a fun intro to a show. And now the next one up for number 8 is Boy Meets World, 1993 to 2000. And you can like picture this on like Disney, and like this was like back in the day. This was like what we watched because Married with Children wasn't really until you're a little older. You know, like it wasn't really like a kid.
Wasn't a kid friendly.
But this is another intro that's great too. Little airplane. Just got that like feel, like the colors. You know, Mr. Feeney is like still alive now. That's crazy to think of. Alright, now this one I didn't remember until I seen it, but when you see it, do you remember this
The
one?
Nanny?
Number 7, The Nanny, 1993 to 1999. And when you see this, you'll remember probably. Maybe. Hopefully.
Doesn't sound familiar, but yes.
See, look, it's weird. When you hear this, you're gonna be like, I remember hearing this right here. So this makes me think of like Nick at Night. That's when it was on, and I didn't like watch it, but I like caught it. You know, it's one of those like.
You weren't invested in it, but you watch it.
No, I mean, don't look like I'd be invested in it.
No, but I mean, you know what I mean. If it was on, you'd watch it, but not
By choice.
Yeah.
And there's probably some out there that did watch these, but it just wasn't like on my radar.
It wasn't your.
But it just again has that feel, and I could see where this intro would fit into like a popular one from back then, like very like cartoonist type of feel. But then the next one up is gonna be one that's a big one, not for me, but for some people. Number 6 is the Seinfeld from 1989 to 1998. Now this one, when you hear this, even though I didn't watch this, I caught this. I could like close my eyes and like hear this intro, and I know what it is because it's just one of those ones. One of those shows where the actors still look the same.
Yeah.
Like they didn't like it's like they're like somehow encapsulated into 90s era look. Like they just kind of little age, but they're like about the same.
They're immortal.
This next one though was I like staple every morning before school. Number 5, Saved by the Bell, 1989 to 1993. And when you hear this, it just brings back a lot of memories.
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gives out a warning, I don't think I'll ever make it on time. By the time I grab my books and I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell. If the teacher pops a test, I know I'm in a mess, and my dog ate all my homework last night. Riding low on my chair, she won't know that I'm there. If I can hand it in tomorrow, it'll be alright. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the. It's alright, 'cause I'm saved by the bell.
It's such a great intro. Number 4, Family Matters, 1989 to 1998. And this is another one that you hear the intro and you just think of like ABC, because that's what it's usually airs on.
Took me a second, 89.
This has that like Indiana feel, you know, like vibe.
This day and age, to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. We're gonna fill our house with happiness, but we'll smother the blues with tenderness. There's room for you, room for me, for gentle hearts and opportunity. It's the bigger love of the family.
That guy's voice that does this is like that feeling of like 90s. Like he's like the 90s voice for sure. But definitely like a great, like wholesome,
Intro.
makes you feel good, like intro. Like, and then the next one up is gonna be a big one for me, because this is like me and my wife. So as a little like side note, when we first got married and we were living on our own, we didn't have like cable TV or like apps and all that stuff, and we had a bunch of old Full House episodes. So that's one of the shows, was number 3, Full House, 1987 to 1995. And the intro just has that like 90s like vibe. A lot of dope cars right there. I think it's like a palette.
That's very unsafe.
Remember when what was it, WandaVision had like a little, yeah.
Had a 90s or I mean, they went through different time periods.
You know, I just thought of it. That's a list we should do, is 90s dads. I can do a list. It's like looking at like Bob Saget was like a 90s dad. Like your dad's dad.
Yeah. I mean, you had him on this Funniest Home Videos.
So I just love like the wholesome shows. I think it's like about like real life stuff, you know. And just this intro just hits. The number 2 is gonna be a show that is really popular with a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie, I never really watched it. It was kind of.
That's why we're friends.
But it's okay. It's just like country. This just wasn't our.
Wasn't my cup.
Wasn't my vibe. But I know this was a big one from 1994 all the way to 2004. That's a long run for a show. And Seinfeld and like Friends were kind of like in the same ballpark for me. Like I just didn't. I like caught them. Like they were on late, and I had to watch through. But this intro is definitely one that hits in the.
It's
area.
Very iconic. I was really hoping. And this is why it's iconic.
And that couch.
If it was on, I'd watch it, but like Mallory can sit here and binge watch every episode, every season of it.
I tried to watch it, and just I don't know.
It doesn't catch me.
It doesn't catch me. The Home Improvements, I love it for sure. But I can see where it'd be fun though. It's got a cool intro, like like a cool vibe. But the next one for number 1 is gonna be a one that I watch all the time on Nick at Night. At night, this is something I'd like chill down to, and that's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which aired from 1990 to 1996. And
did you put this at number 1, or was this the AI list?
This was the AI list.
See,
I would have put some other ones on there, but I wanted to kind of like use the list and use this like we could kind of like talk through it because I think it's a pretty good list. It's got a pretty good like solid. It's really tough to like, and it said like sitcom, so it's kind of hard to like narrow.
Yeah.
But Fresh Prince is what fell on number 1, and this is a great intro. And if you hear this intro and you know the words, go ahead and rap to it because this is definitely a cool intro.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel-Air.
Just like the font too. Great.
Yeah. Like the pink and green really sets it off.
Is where I spent most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel-Air." I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said fresh and it had dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but I thought, man, forget it. Yo, home to Bel-Air. I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabbie, "Yo, home, smell you later." Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there.
There's a part right here at the
Sit on my
end.
throne as the Prince of Bel-Air.
There's a door. He knocks. He does the head.
Yeah.
And there's like a full version of this. I didn't know there was a full version until I was older. But like, when you hear that, you can like close your eyes and you can like rap, like say every word. It's crazy how it just sticks.
And it was a really great
And it's
show.
literally Will Smith doing it too. What's even better? This is before he smacked Chris Rock.
Yeah.
My wife's name out of your mouth.
He was making hit TV shows before he was given hits at award shows.
But I think that's a pretty good, solid number 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely some. There's a couple on there that I probably would have switched out for some others, but definitely a like solid list. And this next one up is going to be one that we all remember because if we grew up and we would have our CD players changed out, put in our own unique ones because we got tired of having tape decks and the like generic one and the basic speakers that weren't that good or that they were also blown in your first car.
Yeah.
But who remembers removable CD player faceplates? Most importantly is the Dolphin one.
Yeah.
Because everyone remembers this Dolphin one. I personally will say I did not have this one.
I didn't.
But I do remember taking the faceplate off if you were going to go inside because someone's stealing it. Because they stole your faceplate. You could not use your CD player anymore.
Yeah.
And you were like screwed to like not have it. But it was like a thing. And in my first car, I did switch it out with the CD player. because it just added more to the car. Like I had like a tape deck type thing, but you can do a tape to like CD, but this is like the removable faceplates was like a big thing back in the day. Like it was funny, you would like take it inside with you if you don't want someone stealing it or like hide it or however you would do it. It was funny what we would do to avoid getting stuff stolen.
Yeah. But I loved them because you had the open button, so you have to open it to put your CD in.
Now the other ones were cool, the removable. I don't think they were removable, but the kind that came out the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I thought those were pretty cool. Which I mean, when are you gonna? Why do you need like a movie?
Right.
Playing while you're driving, but
look at it.
Fast
now.
and Furious is what started that for me because watching that guy play his PS2 on it, I was like, that's exactly what I want to do.
And now most newer cars have a 13-inch screen in them.
Oh yeah, I don't even like nowadays. You don't even have removable faceplates. That's not really like a thing. Like you don't really need to.
My Subaru doesn't have a CD player in it.
But who's the person here locally who 90% of the time installs your stuff?
Best Buy.
Dr. Dashboard.
Oh.
That was like the place when it was on River Road.
I've never had anything installed in a car, but I used to buy those decks from Best Buy.
Oh yeah, so that's why I remember it had all like the little buttons you could push on the screen. Everybody, I go back there and
they'd be like, "Turn that
down." Back there bumping.
Yeah.
The Dolphin car stereos, primarily produced by Pioneer in the late 90s and early 2000s, are iconic for their animated, organic OEL screensavers featuring dolphins swimming in the ocean. These head units, such as the we're not going to say all this, were highly sought after for their advanced visual displays and motorized detachable faceplates that served as anti-theft precautions. While dolphins were the most famous, the screensavers were part of a high-resolution 3D animated display system. Users could often change the animation to other scenes such as Formula One racing car, which would be dope.
Yeah.
Or planets.
Even planets.
I didn't know planets was an option. I would have definitely done some planets.
Right.
With some like nice lights inside. Later models such as the Pioneer DE P7500MP allowed users to upload their own images to their OEL faceplates via a CDR. It's crazy all the little things we would do to like get stuff like on things. Like nowadays you don't really have that. Because back then, like removing it was like you and I were talking about was like an anti-theft thing. Because if someone took your faceplate, what do?
You gotta buy a new faceplate.
Then you gotta take the whole thing out.
Or you had to buy a new radio.
Yeah, that sucked. These units were considered a must-have accessory in the early 2000s, often paired with custom car stereo systems and highly sought after for retro car builds. Due to high demand for nostalgia, Pioneer teased a limited re-release of these, bringing back the famous dolphin graphics because people want those dolphin graphics. I'm not gonna lie, my car now has a pretty nice one. It's a newer-ish car, but nowadays you don't really need.
No.
Like it's just one of those things. Like
Bluetooth.
I like nostalgia, but I don't know if I would have this in my car now. Now, if I had an old car,
then you could do it.
I would do it.
Yeah,
but not for like my newer car. That'd be kind of goofy. It'd be kind of like downgrading in a way. But they were definitely like cool to have, and there was a time and a place for them. I think that time's passed unless you have an old school car. But I remember every time you see those videos of that dolphin graphic, it's like, man, what
that core memory.
What a core memory.
And you're like, what?
So that is episode. Definitely had some difficulties technically that you guys won't see.
Yeah.
That was a real pain in the butt for this one. But this was very like needed. With like Lexus passing, I've kind of been like pushing this off a little bit, honestly. But this is always like a therapeutic way to like hang out and chill with Andrew, and it's always great, and I always love hanging out with him. Definitely go out and spend time with like your friends or animals, because we never know how much time we have with anyone, and it's always important to enjoy the time we have. It's like Andrew and I always say, just like spread love out in the world. You know, there's enough of the other stuff out there. I hope this podcast brings you guys, if you're having a tough time, It kind of like helps you to like come in and like hang out with us and chill. If you guys got any ideas out there for things you want to talk about, drop them down below. Message us however you want to. A bird with the piece of paper, however you want to tell us. We'd love to hear ideas, and we'll add it on the list. The list is ever growing. The podcast is ever growing. We will continue to evolve this thing to just fine tune it for you guys better, because it's all about living those times from back in the day and remembering when times are a little bit slower and a little bit simpler, because now everything's so fast, and it's nice to like slow down and like reflect and think about things.
Take your foot off the gas.
Take your foot off the gas and just kind of live in neutral for a little bit with us and just kind of chill.
Yeah.
But we definitely appreciate everybody's support. If you want to go out there and support us on any of our socials, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts for all the long forms, and then the shorts are like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, there's a bunch of places. Just look us up. You'll find us. We're out there everywhere almost. And we greatly appreciate everyone's support to our podcast, because we couldn't do this without you. Even if just one person watches and we help just one person with, they're having a hard time in life, hey,
anything,
just give yourself time. Give yourself time to process. Give yourself time to like reflect. Hope this time
reach out too. You know what I mean? Call. Look, if a person comes to your mind while you're listening to this, call them. If you can, if they're still with us, call them.
Yeah, you might have to call if they're.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You can still call them.
Yeah, don't text them. Call them. Just be like, hey, thinking about you.
I know you're in the ground, but thinking about you.
I still have some
but
pretty good conversations with my friends.
We just love hanging out with you guys, man.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I love that you guys support your local places. We get to support ours. We get to have all these awesome people around us who love what they love. And
tell us about you. Tell us your stories too.
Oh yeah,
I'm about it.
You guys out there have some good stories sometimes.
Let us know
about that. Remember the waterbed one? We need to do some more. We're definitely not done, and we will continue to pour out more content. Right now it's just once a month, but I'd like to get to every other week if we could. But
be awesome.
We're working on it. You know, it takes time.
Baby steps.
If you guys out there also are thinking about doing something like this, because we just started doing this and we're just figuring it out.
We're not professionals.
Go and do it. Just take your phone, do it. You know, just do something. Like, find some way to be creative and have a hobby, and like something that like you love doing that gets you close to other people who like what you do.
Don't be afraid to fail.
No.
If you're so afraid to failing that you never do anything, then you've already failed. If you fail doing something you love, you gave it a shot. Never know.
And you never know what will happen, because look at us. I mean, here we are, still doing it a year later and still having a great time and still getting to hang out with people and talk to them, and all the support is greatly appreciated from everybody. So on that note, until next time, peace out.
Peace soup.